One man burned down one of the 7 wonders of the world, and when they asked him why, he smiled and said he did it so we would never forget his name. It worked. That's the terrifying part. The year is 356 BC. The place is Ephesus, a jewel of the Greek world on the coast of what is now Turkey. And rising above it stands the Temple of Artemis, not a building, a miracle. 120 columns, each 60 feet tall. Marble that glowed at dawn. It had taken 120 years to build. Travelers said that when they finally saw it, every other wonder they had ever seen turned to shadow. People came from across the known world just to stand in front of it and feel small. And then, in a single night, it was gone. A fire tore through the temple in the dark. Not an accident. Not lightning. Not war. A man had walked in with the deliberate intention of destroying it, and he did not run. He did not hide. When the guards seized him, still lit by the flames of the thing he had ruined, he confessed immediately. Proudly. Almost joyfully. His name was Herostratus. History thinks he was nobody, a laborer, an outsider, a man with no property, no title, no future anyone would remember. And that, it turns out, was the whole point. They asked him why. Why burn the most beautiful building on earth? Why destroy something that took 120 years and thousands of hands to raise? His answer was simple. He wanted his name to live forever. He had looked at his own life and seen that he would die unknown, one more anonymous man swallowed by time. And he had decided that if he could not be great, he would be infamous. If he could not build something the world remembered, he would destroy something the world could never forget. The people of Ephesus understood exactly what he was doing. And they tried to beat him at it. They executed him, of course. But execution wasn't enough, a dead man can still be famous. So they did something stranger. They passed a law. It became a crime, punishable by death, to ever speak or write the name of Herostratus again. They would erase him. Wipe him out of memory so completely that his gamble would fail. He wanted immortality, so they sentenced him to be forgotten. It is one of the oldest examples in history of what we now call cancellation. The idea that if we refuse to say a name, the person behind it simply ceases to exist. Think about the confidence in that. An entire city deciding it could control what the future remembered. That memory was theirs to grant or deny. They were wrong. Because a Greek historian named Theopompus wrote the name down anyway. Just once. In a record of the age. And that single act, one man refusing the ban, is why, 23 centuries later, you are hearing the name Herostratus right now. The law meant to bury him became the very reason we remember him. Every person who tried to silence the story made it louder. The ban itself became part of the legend, proof of how badly they wanted him gone, which only proved how much he had gotten under their skin. There is a phrase for this now. Herostratic fame. The desire to do something monstrous purely to be known. Scholars use his name to describe a specific, ancient sickness that never went away, the person who commits an atrocity not out of hatred or greed, but out of a hunger to matter. To be seen. To convert a nameless life into a headline. And here's the detail that should chill you. There is a legend that the temple burned on the exact same night Alexander the Great was born. As if the universe couldn't hold both a great creator and a great destroyer at once. One child born to build an empire. One temple dying so a nobody could steal a scrap of forever. We like to think we've grown past this. We haven't. Every time a nobody does something horrific and the whole world learns his name within the hour, Herostratus wins again. Every time we say don't name him, don't give him what he wanted, and then click, and share, and repeat it, we are the people of Ephesus, passing the law and breaking it in the same breath. Because here is the uncomfortable truth about attention. The human mind cannot fully separate fame from infamy. Both light up the same hunger, the need to not disappear. To most of us, being remembered as a villain feels unbearable. But to a person who has already decided he is nothing, who is convinced the world will never know his name any other way, a villain is still someone. And someone is better than no one. That is the mechanism. Not evil. Not madness. Emptiness, the terror of vanishing without a trace, reaching for the fastest door out. And destruction is always faster than creation. It took 120 years to build that temple. It took one night to make its destroyer immortal. We didn't remember the architects. We don't know the names of the thousands who spent their lives raising those columns to the sky. We remember the one man who burned it down. So maybe the real question isn't why he did it. Maybe it's why we keep giving people exactly what they burned the world to get. Follow for more.